Oh, P.S. guys, I'm actually not at my house. This is not my kitchen. I'm at my grandma's house, so yeah. Hi, Grandma, if you're watching this. Okay, so I'm making cocoa brownies with brown butter and walnuts. So February 2011, Bon Appetit. I will definitely post the recipe down below, so if you're interested. But what you're going to need, I'm going to show you guys first, just so you can get the idea of what you're going to need for this. You're going to want a 8x8 pan for your brownies. You're going to want to spray this down with some sort of cooking spray. So next you're going to want 10 tablespoons or 1 1/4 sticks of butter cut into 1-inch chunks, which I did here. And this can be freezing, this can be warm, this can be room temperature, this can be fridge temperature. It doesn't matter because you're going to melt it. So that cut into 1-inch chunks. Then you're going to want 1 1/4 cup of sugar, which is below the cocoa powder in there. So yes. And then you're going to want 3/4 cup of natural unsweetened cocoa powder, and so that's what you see there. You're also going to want 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I have my vanilla extract here. Whoa, that was really loud. Then you're going to want 2 large eggs that have been chilled. 1/3 cup plus 1 tablespoon of unbleached all-purpose flour, which is what my cord just totally went into the cocoa powder. Man, which is what we have there. And then you're going to want 1 cup of chopped walnut pieces. So, first step recipe is to add our butter to our pan. So I have this on medium heat, thereabouts. And I'm going to add all this butter in here, and I want this all to melt. And if you read the title, it's brown butter brownies. So we're actually going to brown this butter. I'm no baking like genius. Well, I kind of am. Not really. But I know when butter is browned. So you're going to want it to melt. And I think it's fairly obvious when it's brown. I'm just going to stir this and let it melt. And when it's melted, I will show you guys how long you're going to need to wait for it to brown. So yeah. So keeping the butter on medium heat, it has now melted. So there's no chunks of butter. And you can see it is sizzling and like kind of frothing a bit. Let me zoom you guys in again. You can see it's bubbling and all that stuff. You want it to brown. You want there to be brown pieces. That sounds really terrifying and everything, but you'll see that the bottom will start to get a bit darker. Even now I can kind of see it's starting to get a bit darker. Really watch this because it is one step away from being burnt butter and from being just browned. So you really want to make sure you're watching this. Make sure it's only browned. Okay folks, we have ourselves brown butter. So I'm going to take this off the heat. What we're going to do is we're going to add the cocoa powder, sugar, salt, as well as the 2 tablespoons of water and vanilla. Stir it to blend and let cool for 5 minutes. And so I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes here. And how do we do this, Grandma? How do you work this? Alright, so I've set the timer for 5 minutes now. I'm just going to let this sit. You can tell how chunky, like, can you just see how, like, nasty that kind of looks like? I don't know, chocolate, how does it look nasty? But, like, do you see what I mean? Yeah, you kind of do. Anyways, so I'm going to let that sit for 5 momentos, and then I'm going to add everything else to it. So, yeah. It has been 5 minutes, so what I'm going to do with my mixture that looks uber delicious is I'm going to add an egg one at a time. I'm going to start with this egg that looks really gross because I put it in the bowl that I had the vanilla and stuff in, so it kind of looks brown, but it's not. So you want to add that in, and right away you just want to really stir it in because you don't want it to curdle because the mixture is still warm. You know what, this recipe is really weird because it doesn't actually look good until you eat it. Is that weird? You want to just stir that really well. So stir that in. Once you have that egg stirred in, you want to add your other egg, which I put in the bowl that I had cocoa powder and stuff in, so, you know. So once you have that in, again, just stir it. Look how wonderful it looks. It's glossy, it's delicious looking. I know. So next, what we're going to do is we are going to add the flour. So now we're going to stir in the flour for 60 strokes, it says. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 25. And my 60 strokes, and look how delicious this dough looks now. So next I'm going to add my cup of walnuts. I love walnuts. If you're allergic to walnuts, you can use any other nut, pecans, even peanuts. You could add almonds, any kind of nut you like. Cashews. I don't like cashews. You can add them if you want, but I don't like them. So if I come over to your house for brownies, I wouldn't be a very heavy camper. Although anything in brownies tastes good, honestly. Like, how could you? I don't know. Peanut butter brownies. Oh, sorry, I have really loud music on right now. Party at Grandma's house. G-Ma's away, Emily comes to stay. I love, like, nuts in my... that sounds funny. I love nuts in my brownies. Like, it just adds that crunch to, like, the gooiness of the brownie. So I just want to fold those in or stir them in, whatever. So you got a dough that looks like that. I am going to take this pan that I sprayed and tinfoiled that I showed you guys before. Now I'm going to take my brownie mixture and I'm going to add it into the pan. Alright, so I'm just going to try and get every little chocolatey bit out of this pan. And last, I'm going to stick my brownies that look delicious into the oven at 325 like I said before. Use an oven mitt. Don't do that, kids. But yeah, you can see them in there. Close that up and let them cook for 25 minutes or until a toothpick comes out without any crumbs on it. Okay, so I put the toothpick in. You can see where I put it. And it came out clean, so my brownies are done. And it looks so good. These look amazing. I will insert a picture of what they look like out of the pan, but they need to cool for 25 minutes. And then you can put them on a like a wire rack to cool it anymore and then cut them. So that's what they look like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I really hope you guys try this recipe because it looks amazing and delicious. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!